Hello, everyone. It is Barb Teckle. So I was getting ready this morning and I had this little inspirational idea trickle through my mind about two oracle cards that when I um, got really serious about using oracle cards as an inner self care tool, that there were two cards in the deck I was learning from that came up now and then, and they were two challenging cards. And I just felt like they were really perfect to share today to perhaps help you in an area in your life, maybe that you're feeling challenged by right now. I know the holidays can bring up a lot of things, stir a lot of emotions, and some of these things are triggering to us, and it's just an opportunity for us to learn and grow, and how we can take better inner care of ourselves and actually just to be ourselves in the world. So I wanted to share these two cards with you because I think they're such potent cards. They're very helpful cards. Though again, when I first started working with oracle cards, I remember just thinking, "Ugh," when these two cards came up because they would frustrate me because the place I wanted to go was to beat myself up about that I was in that place again. But eventually I would learn that these cards were an opportunity for me to change the way that I was feeling, to look at it more deeply, to see how I could change things about myself, based on whatever situation. It can be, this really applies to any situation, um, and just have a better outcome. So they are from the deck Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And the first card, I remember one of the prompts I was working with is what aspect of my becoming needs the most healing? And this was right out the bat, like just beginning to really be serious about working with oracle cards to help me in my growth and my evolution. And the card that I picked was Never Ending Story. And I still remember to this day how I just felt this heaviness come over me of this never ending story about a certain situation that I was thinking about when I pulled that card about the prompt of what aspect of my becoming needs the most healing. Now, if you look at this card, you can see this woman sitting on there, and you can just tell by her body language if she's frustrated. She's just, um, she's upset. Do I have to go through this again? Why can't I figure this out? How can I change things? And what I love about this card also is there is a time, what do you call those? A time glass, sand glass. I don't know what to call it, but I think you know what I mean. Um, and I think sometimes too, when we're frustrated, I don't think I know this for a fact because this has been me in my life. And something that I continue to work on is, when we get into that place of frustration again, no matter what the situation is, we just want to, first of all, we want to bypass it, or we may think, I just don't have time. I don't have time to deal with this. But in reality, when you look above the little time glass, there is this heart shape. But the place we are being called to go to in this never ending story is to drop into our heart and listen to what it is trying to tell us. Because the truth is, our heart is trying to help us. The universe, God, source, is trying to help us. And the cards are always oracle cards, and that's what I love about them is they are a reflection of what it is we need to pay attention at any given moment in time when we sit down and we work with the cards. And it's there for our highest good to help us. So I wanted to share this card today, and I'm going to share another one that I feel goes perfectly with this. And I'm also going to pick an animal card for all of us today. Now I lost my train of thought. So whatever situation you may be dealing with right now that feels frustrating, that feels like perhaps you're thinking, here I am again in this state of mind that I don't like, or I'm faced with this situation again that never seems to get resolved. This is your never ending story coming up. How can you change that story? How can you let that story go? Where does that story come from? These are the things you can ask yourself. So the next card that I feel like goes really perfect with Never Ending Story, a card that I often get, which is Round and Round. I love this card, the coloring. I love the spiral. That's one of my favorite symbols. But oftentimes when this comes up, I know exactly what that means. It means I've gotten trapped in my mind and I'm going round and round and round about a situation. And when we get trapped in our mind, the answer is never going to come. We have to again drop back into our hearts and really listen. Now, the other thing I love about the spiral, which just came to me over the weekend listening to some different speakers, and one speaker in particular, and I really appreciated this insight about the spiral. Now, what I love about the spiral is about spiraling inward and being with those things that make us feel uncomfortable and really examining and exploring what that is about in order to heal it. But what I also like in regards to the spiral is that, yeah, I think this is a good thing when we go in because we have to go in and go deep in order to come back out and shine our light. But we always have this opportunity. We have an opportunity. We can also get stuck here when we go inward, right? But we have this opportunity to go back outward again too. And it's so important not to get stuck down in here, which we can do you know, um, especially if it's something that's hard to look at, but at the same time, giving ourselves permission, to be with what we are exploring that we wish to change. And sometimes that takes time because we're healing, it's a process. We're healing in layers all the time. So I just felt like I was just inspired as I was getting ready for the day today. I felt like these cards are really important right now. Again, like with the holidays, so much comes up for so much of us. And, here's an opportunity for us to let go of whatever that never ending story is for us and to stop going round and round in our minds and perhaps beating ourselves up and wishing we were different. But again, looking at where we can change things so the spiral becomes a more inviting place. And the goal is to, when you spiral downward, to examine that which needs to be explored. The more that you do that and the more that you are open to that, the faster that you actually come back out of that spiral. That has definitely been the case for me. The older I get, the more I work with my wounding and work with my stuff, um, the easier it is to come back out of that spiral again. So let's pick an animal card to be your animal guide. If you want to take a moment and look at a situation where you feel like something in your life is a never ending story and you're going round and round and round about it and you're not getting anywhere, what animal can guide you? And this I am pulling from my Animal Reflections Healing Oracle deck. What animal is going to guide you? Here we go. What animal? This one's sticking up to me, so I'm going to pull that one for all of us today. It is crow and creativity. Oh, this is so cool. Uh, so, when we're in that never ending story and we are in that round and round place, and maybe we're just not being able to resolve it, it's perfectly okay to take some time, to get things, get away from this spiral that you're in and this going round and round in your mind of trying to figure things out, to do something creative. Um, and that can be anything. It doesn't have to be art. I've said that before, but whatever creativity is to you is to step away from it for a little bit. But that doesn't mean to ignore that which you're trying to work with and change about yourself. But a lot of times, creativity can help us drop into our heart, and it can help take the pressure off. And a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I have. Sometimes I'll go for a walk and I'm feeling really frustrated about something or frustrated with myself. And either something in nature will just help me, remind me to be more gentle with myself, or the answer will come. The answer will come when I take time to be creative. And I love crows. I just love when I go for a walk in the morning and I hear them cawing away and talking to me. And I also love Crow also for the mystery of life. This never ending story and round. Sometimes it's hard to get to what the answer is, but it's also an invitation to be open to that mystery and know that it's there guiding us. And sometimes things are just going to remain in the mystery, but just that we are doing our best that we can to change any situation that we feel bogged down by or burdened by. So I hope that was helpful. Again, I felt really inspired. These two cards just popped into my mind today. And, and I just because I still remember the day of pulling that first card and how I felt when I pulled Never Ending Story. And now when I pull the card, which doesn't happen too often in my own personal readings, but when I do pull it for a client, I get really excited because I'm like, oh, here's an opportunity to change that and to feel better and feel lighter in your body and your mind and your spirit. So I hope that was helpful. And, this time of year or going into the new year is a great time to have a reading done. If you would like to do that, I would love to have the opportunity to do a reading for you for an area in your life that you perhaps need some support with. Or maybe you're having some struggles with an animal friend of yours, and I do readings for that as well, which I absolutely love to do. So if either one of those call to you, you can check my website out at joyfulpaws.com. All right, everyone, have a great holiday season, and I hope that was helpful and beneficial. All right, take good care. See you again. Bye bye.